everyone, my name is Omelogo Nnadi and I like to be called the Children Nurturer. In this episode of the Children Nurturer series, I'd like to talk about staying for the children. Staying for the children. Now, in every family, in every home, the primary nurturer is the mother. Fathers can and do nurture, but it is the basic attribute and nature of the woman to nurture. Everything thrives in her hands. Everything should thrive in her hands. And so we come to this phrase, staying for the children. This is a phrase that is often associated with relationships between couples where you have an unpalatable relationship, sometimes even violent. And then you find a situation whereby the mother of the children will say, I am staying for the children. Now, many of our mothers, in their time, many of our mothers stayed, unknown to us, they stayed in their homes because of the children. But the thing is, during that period, the demands of the society was different. The demands made on mothers, on wives, by families, the societal expectations in families were absolutely different from what it is now. Today we have far too many young and old elderly mothers who are staying for the children. But the difference is this. Everyone knows, it's public knowledge, including the children for whom these mothers have to stay. It is public knowledge. Now, thing is, what does that imply? Is it good? Is it bad? Or is it whatever? This is a point where I go to my usual way of telling a story or making an analogy. So let me tell a story. This is a real story, someone's story. So I have a friend who's been married 5 years. She's been married 5 years. She has 2 children and she is in a very, very unpleasant marriage. She says that sometimes she wonders if her husband ever really loved her or if he just wanted a woman who was resourceful, who was focused, and who could cater for herself, and in effect, for the family. She says she finds herself living with a very mean man who is vindictive, who is self-centered, who is selfish, who is so mean both in action and words. And she begins to wonder if maybe he makes that deliberate effort to be mean to her. And she says that sometimes he could decide to give her the silent treatment over things she's not even aware of. And then he would decide how long this silent treatment would last and when it was time to begin to chatter with her again. And if for any reason she kept silent at such moments when he decided that it was time to chatter, he will take it out on the children by inflicting not just physical pain, but emotional pain on the children, knowing that she would not be able to stand it. And so she will be forced to break the silence, even if she wasn't ready to speak with him. So she said that over and over and over again, she said, I am tired. I am tired. I want out. But you guessed right already. She's staying for the children. So she's given the length of period she would want to stay for the children for reasons best known to her or things she has constructed or factored in. But then again, let's take it this way. When you stay for the children, there are basically things that you should consider. The thing is this.
Are you a healthy eater, Weight Watcher, on a diet, or you just love the creamy side of life? Papa Opel's Greek yogurt is Greek at its best, rich in calcium, protein, iodine, B12, and healthy probiotics. If you're a fan of Greek yogurt, you've never tasted better. creamy for days from Purple Pearl's place. Purple Pearl's Greek yogurt. Health first, taste right after.
If you are staying in a place or doing a thing because of someone or something, there usually should be, is, and should be a singular reason that thing you are doing is good for you or for the person for whom you are staying for. That should be the reason primarily. But you find a situation whereby most people who stay, okay, let's take it this way. Staying in an unpalatable, maybe an abusive relationship is expected to be totally good for the children. I mean, one of the things that you would consider is it is good for everyone involved, for the good of all. I mean, excluding yourself, because already it isn't good enough for you. But then you have to play the sacrificial lamb and stay for the good of all the others, for peace sakes, for harmony's sakes, while you try to manage it the best you can. But the question that you need to ask is very vital. Staying in an abusive or unpalatable relationship, or maybe even violent relationship, is it really good for the children? Is it good for them emotionally? Is it good for them physically? Or is it even good for them psychologically? Is it good? You find out that an abusive or violent relationship can only mirror abuse and violence. And so, question is, how can that be good for the children? Those things which the relationship or union that you are staying in for the children, how can it be good for the children? Because when you think about it, although these things may not physically be directly inflicted on the children physically, emotionally and psychologically, you will be damaging the children when all they see mirrored in that environment which they find themselves is only abuse, violence, and all the unpalatable vocabularies I can use now.
Little Crystal's Cradle LCC, a home crack set in the city center of the Federal Capital Territory, offers daily drop-in for toddlers and preschoolers and a second home option for your little ones. With reliable care that pays attention to each child's peculiar developmental needs and pace, we nurture your children deliberately towards a full childhood. You never have to worry if your little crystals are doing okay, because at LCC, it's truly a home away from home. Open 5 days every week from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. We accept your babies from 3 months. At Little Crystal's Cradle, we think children, we breathe for children, and we live for children. Looking for that trusted eagle-eyed care for your little ones? Then call us on 0818 0755 LCC, deliberate steps to lofty heights.
So if you have a home that is bereft of harmony and love, to an extent that it shows in the interactions, constant interactions of the inhabitants of that home, it cannot be healthy in any way for the children. It cannot be. So what you need to consider is this. If they constantly spend their time in such environments, what you risk is having maladjusted children into adulthood. The singular reason being that having them stay in that sphere, in that space, normalizes or begins to normalize the dysfunction that such an environment is. And you begin to create children who are maladjusted, and before you know it, you have a vicious cycle which is replete and repetitive. It never stops. And so these are things that you ought to pay attention to when you think about staying for the children. The key questions: is it really good for the children? You're staying for them. Is it good for them emotionally? Is it good for them physically? What are the physical things that they see in that environment? Is it good for them psychologically? These are things that you need to pay attention to constantly. Let me ask a question. Do you know that two good people can be incompatible to the point of violence? Two good people. The main thing here is compatibility. The fact that they are two good people does not necessarily mean that they can be good enough together. And when you have two good people who are not good enough together, you would have unsavory experiences both for these persons involved and the people around them. In this case, it might be two parents with children involved. In every relationship involving children, when it comes to this thing about staying for the children, it is not necessary for both parties to stay together under one roof for the children. You can stay with the children, but not for the children. If you cannot stay with the children, you then need to stay away for the children. Sometimes this is even healthier, because when you now go through all the unsavory experiences that the children might be exposed to, you figure out that it is easier to stay away for them than to stay under one roof with this person you're awfully incompatible with for the children. Now, you think about the fact that it takes two to tango. In a tango, there are always two parties. If you take away one party, then a tango becomes impossible. This directly translates to the fact that if you take away one party from two parties that are incompatible, automatically the incompatibility ceases to exist. Some of the key things that you need to weigh every time when this case arises is this: what are the benefits for staying for the children? What are the downsides of staying on the children? Do the benefits far outweigh the downsides?
Healthy fruits, nuts, seeds, and rolled oats. All natural, oven-baked, crunchy, and oh so yummy. Pepper Pearl granola, high in fiber, rich in vitamins, and a healthy snack pack for children and adults. Best taken with Pepper Pearl Greek yogurt or milk, warm or cold. Pepper Pearl granola, health and taste all in one pack.
These are things that you need to weigh at every point. If the benefits far outweigh the downsides, then maybe you need to stay. But when you check it and the benefits do not even measure up to a tenth of what the downsides are, by all means, staying for the children will become more damaging. It will be better if you stayed away. Otherwise, instead of saving the children, you end up damaging them and creating maladjusted children who have adulthoods that are not properly functional. I don't know where I came across this, but I wrote it down. Bitterness breaks your capacity. It grounds you. It makes you non-functional. Now, if you think about this, you realize that you cannot raise wholesome children. If you are in yourself bitter, you are traumatized, and you need healing. Fixers and healers have to first of all in themselves be fully fixed or healed or on the process of achieving that. If you do not have that, it will become impossible for you to help heal and to help fix people. So when you think about the fact that you want to stay, you must consider of what benefit it is to you. What consequence is it to you who are staying, who are trying to fix things and make things okay? Of what benefit is it for the children, to the children? And what are the downsides? If you can check all these and you measure and they are good enough, then maybe, yes, maybe you should stay. Otherwise, it is better for you to stay away for the children. If you squeeze lime fruit, squeeze it really hard, it cannot bring out savory tangerine juice. It will bring out the tangy sour lime juice. And so when you stay, what goes into you is what will come out. If what is going into you is unsavory, bitter, traumatizing, in the long run, that is what you will project. That is what you will give to the children. That is what you will mirror to the children. And so, staying for the children, great. But is it really good for these children? Physically, emotionally, psychologically? You need to answer these questions. So, this is where I come to the end of our topic for today. My name is Omelogo Nnadi once again, and I love to be called the Children Nurturer. I hope you've gained a lot from this, and I'll see you in the next episode.